Good evening, sir.
Please take a minute. You are a doctor.
Yes, sir.
Are you still practicing?
Sir, right now I'm not practicing, sir.
What are you doing now?
I'm preparing, sir. This is my first attempt, so I thought one complete attempt without practicing I should give. So I thought that is why I'm not working.
When did you complete your MBBS course?
2019 I have finished, sir.
19.
Yes, sir.
After that?
After
2
the-
years, what are you doing?
Sir, after 2019, then I started preparing and I gave 2020.
Then, why are you selecting the civil service?
Sir, my
You can, look for the post graduation, the doctor, DM,
Yes,
MD.
yes,
So
sir.
many opportunities are there. Why are you choosing the civil service?
Yes, sir. I do agree with you
That is a totally, your MBBS profession was a totally specialized profession.
Yes, sir.
Whereas you are choosing civil services, which is a generalized profession.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, because MBBS was a thoughtful option, sir, to go for graduation, and I even felt that I should become a good doctor during my graduation. But then there was an incident which motivated me towards civil services, sir. So I have shifted my career towards civil services.
Are there any doctors in your family?
No, sir. I'm first doctor, actually.
You are the first person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. You are observing this COVID,
Yes, sir.
coronavirus, the pandemic situation in the country.
Yes, sir.
Now there is no foolproof medicine for corona,
Yes,
even
sir.
the remdesivir or
Yes.
tocilizumab also.
Yes, sir.
In these circumstances, the only way out is vaccination. Okay, fine. India has developed 2 vaccines
Yes,
so
sir.
far,
Yes, sir.
and they're looking for more number of vaccines to be added into them.
Yes, sir.
What are the different types of vaccines in the world? What are the different types of vaccines in the world? I'm talking about different types,
Okay.
not
Yes.
Covaxin or
Yes, sir.
Covishield or else this one. What are the different types of vaccination? What is the principle involved in this vaccination procedure?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first part of question regarding the types of vaccines is one, sir, mRNA vaccines, where the mRNA codes for the viral specific protein.
COVID is mRNA only. COVID. I'm talking about different types of vaccines like
Johnson and
vaccine,
Johnson.
attenuated
Yes, sir.
vaccine,
Yes, sir.
inactivated vaccine,
Yes,
killed
sir.
vaccine, toxoid vaccine,
Yes, sir.
conjugated vaccine, synthetic vaccine. Fine, all these different types of vaccines.
Yes, sir. mRNA vaccine is one such vaccine, sir, and a live attenuated group of vaccines, and even Sputnik strain, which carries the adenovirus group of different strains, and as you said, sir, even live attenuated vaccine which Covaxin uses, almost the similar kind of principles they do carry, sir. Like over the world, they do carry the similar kind of vaccination types. For example, the same live attenuated variant of adenovirus is even used in US based vaccines and also even in Sputnik, sir. But the basic difference is the kind of efficacy they produce. That depends on the research levels they adopt. That is one, sir.
What is the difference between the Covaxin and the Covishield?
Sir, scientifically if we speak,
I am asking scientifically only, not a generalized way.
yes, sir. Sir, Covishield vaccine and Covaxin. Covaxin is live attenuated vaccine, sir, where the inactivated virus.
Covaxin is live attenuated. What way? It is a highly inactivated and then killed vaccine.
Yes, sir.
It is a highly inactivated
Yes.
and killed virus is there in Covaxin. What about Covishield?
Sir, Covishield vaccine. Yes, sir. As you said, Covaxin is one where the chimpanzee adenovirus strain is chosen for it.
Don't jump into the conclusions.
Yes, sir.
This chimpanzee viral vector, it is a replication deficient vaccine, Covishield.
Yes, sir.
It all depends upon based on the adenovirus. Okay, that is Covishield.
That is
Covaxin is totally inactivated and killed one. Well, Covishield is totally a replication deficit. That means the harmful genes have been totally removed from that one. And it doesn't go for replication. Covaxin means it doesn't allow the vaccine to undergo the replication. So it is a replication deficit mechanism. What are the other types of vaccines we are looking for? Which is the first indigenous vaccine, COVID vaccine?
So our indigenous vaccine is Covaxin, sir. Because Covishield took the help of Oxford AstraZeneca.
Yeah.
And the major principle of Covaxin was, even though it is non-replicating, it has the ability to stimulate the immune cells and thus produce T cells and B cells, which are major components for immunity. And the major reason why we take vaccine is also for the same reason, the kind of memory effect it creates. Because the aim of vaccination is to prevent infection which comes post its booster dosage. So that is one important thing which is in Covaxin. That is why people are favoring it, sir, in spite of a vaccine hesitancy also.
Okay, what do you understand about this monoclonal antibodies and the polyclonal antibodies?
Yes, sir. So these antibodies are those which attack the virus. It is like giving the protection at once to the person who cannot produce antibodies at that instance. So we are decreasing the time period as well as we are supplementing the person's immunity via this monoclonal or polyclonal antibodies, sir. But monoclonal, they are directed towards a single kind of antigen of the viral strain. While polyclonal, the name itself, sir, polyclonal, it is directed against different kinds of antigens. So will be the production criteria also. Choosing the raw materials and also.
Normally, a vaccine development and preparation, completion requires years.
Yes, sir.
Normally, discovery, then the procedure,
yes, sir.
then the animal studies, phase 1 trial, phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial.
Yes, sir.
Whether this Covaxin and Covishield have undergone all the steps?
Sir, the 1, 2, 3 stages, as you said, sir, they have undergone, but with limited number of individuals within the clinical trials.
Phase 1 itself, it is nothing but a limited number of.
Yes, sir.
Phase 2 is moderate number.
Yes,
phase
sir.
3 is very high.
Yes,
number.
sir.
So
They are under process, sir. As you said, they are under process of 3rd and 4th, which is post-market surveillance, which they have to undergo. I do agree that these vaccines didn't undergo similar kind of checks as other vaccines have taken. That is one probable reason that the time involved has also been less, but then we had to go for the vaccine because COVID-19 itself has created such huge hazardousness in the form of pandemic, sir. So outweighing the risk to benefit ratio, we had to approve the vaccines also.
How long it works? What is your opinion? How long the Covaxin or the Covishield will work?
Sir, after vaccination, it starts working after 4 weeks, sir, because it takes 4 weeks for antibodies.
How long?
Sir, till the strain is susceptible to that specific antibodies or cells. It depends on the variant. Like for example, influenza virus, we go for yearly vaccination because the strain continuously mutates and then mutates, and that is why we go for annual vaccination. And so will be the case with Covaxin and Covishield, sir. Unless until the virus is susceptible, we can go for once we are in studies. If the virus has mutated in such a way that it started to hinder the immune responses of this Covishield or Covaxin, then probably we need to even change the vaccination composition also, sir. So it depends on the virus completely.
Okay, the spread is okay, but the mortality is somehow it is in control in India.
Yes, sir.
The mortality is in control. But nowadays, a lot of co-infections are experiencing in the country or in the world.
Yes,
what
sir.
does it mean, the co-infections?
Sir, co-infections with COVID-19,
Yeah.
sir. One is it is said, sir, like recently adenoviral infections have been increased. They talk about the dry tongue and which is called COVID tongue, and also the red eye effect, sir. It is said that the adenoviral strains which are used in vaccines have been superimposing on the COVID-19, sir.
There are two types of issues involved in it. The double mutant strain, whatever the thing we are finding now, as when compared to the UK strain or else an African strain or the Brazil strain.
Yes, sir.
The double mutant strain is very highly powerful and it doesn't become an airborne thing. So in a person, just 48 hours back, I have come across a patient. That patient is suffering with from two strains.
Okay.
In the same body,
Yes,
two
sir.
strains.
Yes, sir.
One is a double mutant strain of India.
Yes, sir.
Second one is a Brazil strain.
Okay.
How?
Sir, it is quite obvious, sir. Once a person gets infected, his immunity starts working towards that virus. Once he becomes susceptible, there are more chances that the other viral strain, when exposed, will even infect the person. So it all depends on the exposure of the person, sir, and immunity levels of the person. So not just two, sir. I think it is not just virus, sir, not just COVID-19 virus or strain, be it even bacterial infection also. If he is exposed and he is of less immunity, there are 100% chances that the person gets infected, sir. So yes, sir, as far as we are dealing with the mutated strains, it is quite obvious that the person's immunity is going to reduce and he is going to affect more towards different kinds of strains and viruses and bacteria also.
If you become the collector of a district,
Yes, sir.
there are a couple of issues. One side, the development, infrastructure, physical infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
Second side, the human development index. Which one you prefer? The physical infrastructure indices you are going to attack first, or else the human development indices like institutional deliveries, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, malnutrition, wasting, stunting, underweight. Which one do you prefer?
Sir, that would be on the district I am placed, sir. If the district is has a deficit in infrastructure, then my first priority would be infrastructure. But if the infrastructure is fine, but the human development indices are low, then I have to change my priority to them, sir. But if both are in the same place, I think infrastructure is the biggest component, because infrastructure has a vicious cycle, sir, in improving the human development indices or this kind of ratios also. Because it creates a vicious circle with the human development indices, sir. Because individuals go but not institutions, they stay forever, and they create a kind of ecosystem where the human development indices can improve.
But every world, the UN is particularly concentrating on the human development indices only,
Yes,
not on the physical infrastructure or other things.
Yes,
Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is India has literally failed in developing the health infra as of now.
Yes, sir.
Developing the health infra. For example, the ventilators, the vaccines, or else the medicines, or else hospitals, beds, other things. Why such a situation, anticipating such a huge pandemic situation, why India has not tackled effectively the second wave of the COVID? They know pretty well. They have celebrated. They are in jubilant mood in the month of February.
Yes.
They said that COVID is gone. We have achieved Eureka, like that. A lot of praise has come for India. They thought that the COVID is gone. From September to February, the COVID spike has been reduced enormously.
Yes, sir.
Celebrated. But after knowing pretty well about the second wave of COVID, why they have not developed the infrastructure? Because health is the fundamental thing.
Yes, sir.
Even the unborn child, in the pregnant women, in the unborn child, it is literally crying like this. My dear parents, if you are not able to provide me good education, good health, good standard of living, please don't give me birth. You don't have any right to give me the birth.
Yes, sir.
So that's what the unborn child is also crying. Then the born child, after coming into the world, if health is not being taken care of, where is development? What is development?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I do agree with you, sir, but then partially only. Because, sir, it has been a huge pandemic. We have strained our resources to like continuous months. And infrastructure is not and secondly, sir, infrastructure is not something which happens within few months. It needs years also, it needs funds, it needs political will, it needs people who are passionate to.
Infrastructure can be created within days. That is not a big deal. That is not a big deal. Why? How they in Delhi they have constructed a very big COVID hospital for 10,000 patients.
Yes, sir. But then that is just one hospital, sir.
Yeah, like that. Why they have not developed? I am asking a straight question.
Yes, sir.
Pretty well.
Yes, sir.
That second wave is going to be dangerous. Why they have not developed the infra?
Yes, sir. That is a quite good solution for facing COVID-19, where each and every district can have a separate hospital for COVID-19 and all.
See, everybody is saying that don't come to hospital. I am asking a straight question to you.
Yes, sir.
Be in home for quarantine. A person in India, the below poverty line fellows are very high when compared to the above poverty line fellows. Below poverty line fellow, he has only one small room. In the small room, how can an isolation can be ensured? A quarantine can be ensured. A small room with 4 people, how can the quarantine can be ensured?
So quarantine is for
2 bedroom, 3 bedroom means I do agree.
Yes, sir.
But a small room, it has to cater nearly 4 or 5 people.
Yes, sir.
Most of the houses are like this only.
Yes, sir.
How can the quarantine can be ensured in a family like this one?
Yes, sir. There the government can focus by providing some kind of accommodation, sir. I do agree with it. But then it is better to be in one room instead of being on the roads, where they are quite easily susceptible to the virus also. And also this quarantining is done for the people who are of high risk or who have been in contact with patients, sir. It is not that they are infected. Once they are infected, if they are only of mild cases where simple oral medication and proper food can suffice, then they are asked to stay within homes. Once they become moderate to severe, it is obvious that they are taken to the hospitals and given treatment. So the suggestions have been.
But anyway, I am finding a lot of gaps in establishing the infrastructure. Even
Yes,
the
sir.
central ministers also is requesting for bed facility at Delhi.
Yes, sir. I do.
What is the situation? Grave situation.
Yes, sir. I do agree that as a sector, health sector lacks hugely in infrastructure. And the reasons are not just COVID-19 or the present political party or people, sir. It has been like quite since 70 years, where we have not given priority to health as an important sector. We have just limited our GDP expenditure to 1.5. It has been quite often said that health GDP has to be increased to 2.5%, and there is also a proposal for all India medical services, also proposal for improving the district surveillance systems and all. But then even in the 70 years we never focused it, sir. Only looking at the pandemic and then crying for the infrastructure doesn't solve the problem unless until we make health as a priority. I think everyone should take the responsibility, sir. The political personnel, the common man who have to demand that public health system is his basic right. Once he start claiming this, then it brings competitiveness in the public health sector. That would in turn correct the inefficiency in the private health sector also. In this way, I think the problem which has been there since decades can be corrected, sir.
So, there are a lot of success stories in the world about the tackling of the COVID situation. The best quarantine in Hong Kong, the best testing facility in South Korea.
Yes, sir.
The best communication facility in Finland.
Yes, sir.
The best country which has tackled excellently COVID is New Zealand.
Yes, sir.
Then Israel. Like that, we are having a lot of things. Now, government is adopting triple T PV technique. What is that? Triple T PV.
Triple T PV, sir. I think it is test, track, and treat strategy, sir.
Triple T PV. It is not triple T. It is not 4 T's. What is this new concept of triple T PV?
So the first 3 T's can be test, track, and treat, and vaccinate, sir. P I couldn't abbreviate.
That is public compliance.
Okay,
that's
sir.
lacking actually.
Yes, sir.
The public, who is listening? The government is telling you and cry, but which person is listening to the government?
Yes.
See, testing, tracing, treating, public compliance, then only vaccination.
Yes.
So that is the concept of triple T PV.
Yes.
So
Thank you,
that
sir.
is truly implemented. Truly implemented. Then ours also will become a successful story.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, we will not land with the failure stories of UK, the failure stories of Brazil, the failure stories of US, the failure story of India.
Yes, sir.
All these are failure stories. We are not successful in COVID tackling.
My first question.
Yes, sir.
You are a doctor,
Yes, sir.
MBBS doctor.
Yes, sir.
You are fully aware that we don't have sufficient number of doctors in our country
Yes, sir.
to treat our sick people.
Yes, sir.
According to Article 16 of the Constitution, you have a fundamental right to select your profession.
Yes, sir.
And at the same time, when country is facing a crisis like this,
Yes, sir.
for any doctor like you,
Yes, sir.
there are two ways. One is joining medical service, that is continuing your profession as a medical practitioner, and second one is aspiring for administrative services like IAS.
Yes, sir.
Here my question is, constitutionally you have every right to become an IAS officer. But I want to emphasize on ethical responsibility of a doctor who is very valuable
Yes, sir.
manpower, particularly in the background of COVID.
Yes, sir.
So, if anybody asks you to continue as a doctor instead of becoming an IAS officer, what would be your answer?
Yes, sir. I do agree with all your statements, sir. But then I would give them the explanation why I have chosen civil services, sir. Ethically, I do agree, sir. This is time when I have to be in the field protecting my nation when it needs me. Then I have been doing it by being part of the WhatsApp groups, sir, where the mild symptom patients or the in and around friends groups and relative groups ask me questions regarding their health problems, where I give solutions for them. That would instead prevent their risk of getting exposed by going to hospitals. Ethically, I am solving my conflict in that way. And if asked, sir, why should I continue or should I go back to my profession, then the answer which I give to myself is, as a doctor, I just treat probably 100% a day. If I become an officer, because I am passionate and upright, I can take the responsibility of people in thousands and lakhs, and instead make the efficient doctors work efficiently in at ground level also. That is the answer I would give, sir.
After seeing almost 1 year with COVID first wave, what is your opinion, and how do you assess the performance and reaction of the Union government and Telangana government?
Sir, not completely saying that they were 100% right in doing what they have done, but then this situation has been something unexpected, sir, both be it state government or central government.
Even after 1 year?
Sir, the mutant strains are something seriously unexpected, sir. When proliferation is done, while we are carrying out the researches like ICMR has been doing researches on the strains, but then this variant concept has emerged during the Jan and December itself, sir. The problem with this, the problem has been exacerbated by this variant strains also. Because earlier we were treating the patients in a quite huge number in mild to moderate intensity, that too the people who were greater than 45 years were major people who were infected. But now we are facing the same issue with moderate to severe, sir. That is the reason we are facing oxygen deficiency also. Also, the group of people who started getting infected has been continued apart from the old people greater than 45 years. Even the younger age people are getting more affected. Even the children are getting more affected because of the present wave. So, it has been an add-on to the already prevailing struggle, sir, and we are working for it.
And now, the biggest challenge before Modi or any chief minister is
Yes, sir.
lockdown or no lockdown. Already last year, with the lockdown, Indian economy
Yes, sir.
was badly affected.
Yes, sir.
due to COVID, government says that our growth rate went to minus 7.8.
Yes, sir.
Now, in this background, recently in states like Telangana, schools are closed, malls are not closed.
Yes, sir.
Of course, since yesterday, even malls are asked to close after 9.
Yes,
Not till 9, they are open.
Yes, sir.
Malls, even other economic activities are allowed.
Yes, sir.
Schools are closed.
Hmm.
Malls are allowed to continue their economic activity. How do you justify this policy of our government?
Sir, I do agree that schools are also a place where the virus can spread, and even malls are the place where the virus can spread, sir. But then the people who are dependent on these malls are even the employees who are like gig workers, and even the platform level workers and people who are less than 15,000 are more in number in this kind of malls also. And it is not just malls, sir. For example, the kind of spillover effect this kind of establishments do have, like connectivity. Even the auto rickshaw wala is someone who is benefited by this. Even the local hotel person is also someone who is involved in this. So in that way, probably is the reason why the government has taken the decision that let us close the schools, because the people who are infected have been more towards the younger population, and there are quite higher chances that they get infected more within the classrooms itself. But then people have to stay and they have to live and eat also. That is the reason probably which made them choose to open the malls, but then also follow the proper social behavior, sir.
Do you support lockdown at this moment?
Sir, I won't support complete lockdown, sir, but then micro containment is a very important step to be taken right now with the present peak, sir.
Was there any specific decision by Prime Minister based on his yesterday's speech?
Sir, sorry.
He mentioned that the decision of lockdown is left to states.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does it mean that the Prime Minister is not able to take a decision? Or Indian government is not able to take a decision?
Sir, I think it means.
Because last time, without taking the permission of state governments,
yes, sir.
Prime Minister himself announced lockdown.
Yes, sir.
But this time, why Prime Minister of India is hesitating?
Sir, it can be, sir, one reason can be the previous effects of previous economic contraction, sir, and also the issue that right now few states have been experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic at a very huge level. It is said that quite 10 to 11 states are major 70% case contributions, sir. So in that way, it is better for the states to take the restrictive measures. But earlier in the past waves, sir, it has been quite less or more, except Maharashtra. I think most of the states are involved in this COVID-19 pandemic. So, and it is also said that whenever the powers are given to a state, powers are given to a state in this kind of situations, they can better handle the economic situation as well as the health situation more efficiently. Probably that's the reason why the union government has taken decision to leave the decisions to the states, sir.
My last question.
Yes, sir.
Countries like Israel, Australia and New Zealand,
yes, sir.
they don't have the issue of COVID. What are the reasons?
Sir, one thing is the huge population itself, sir. As long as the population density is very high and susceptible population is also very high, there are quite higher chances that the virus prevails within the population. And second thing, the health security also, sir. The kind of insurance systems, for example, UK has health insurance system, even US has health insurance system, sir. But that concept is itself very much lacking in India. And also
my question is, these countries, Israel, New Zealand, Australia,
yes, sir.
now they are not facing
COVID surges.
COVID.
Yes, sir.
So, you are a doctor.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the reasons?
Sir, one thing is population, sir. The next thing is vaccination. They have ramped up their vaccination to a very high extent that Israel has more than 100% of vaccination potential. Like it has vaccinated its people very fastly. And the third thing, the kind of health system and institutions they had past decades is one thing which made them to handle the situation more properly.
So they had better health infrastructure to face any type of situation like COVID.
Yes, sir.
So they are pro.
Yes, sir.
The administrative system is proactive.
Yes, sir. Obviously.
What happened to government of India?
Yes, sir. It has to be accepted. I think it has been 2 years, and we have to accept this thing that India has lacked proper healthcare setup itself. Like
we did not build any major hospital in last 1 year, but we completed a stadium in record time.
Yes.
How to understand?
Sir, I think it is in the priority of the administration and how we wanted to run our.
Priority of the administration. So stadium became first priority of the administration.
Sir, that stadium.
Not hospital.
Sir, we have created hospitals also. For example, in Telangana, we have the Telangana Institute of Medical Sciences, which we have adopted.
Telangana Institute of Medical Sciences.
In Gachibowli. In Gachibowli, sir, the temporary care ones. It has been.
It was built for national games.
Yes, sir.
So it is a hotel is converted into
COVID care center. Yes, sir.
So why a new hospital is not built?
Sir, it is because of one financial constraints which we have been facing, sir. The
Financial constraints.
Yes, sir.
But the same Telangana government is very much in hurry to go for a new secretariat.
Sir,
what about financial constraints?
But secretariat takes quite a few years, sir. It takes 5 to 6 years for completion of a secretariat. And similarly will be the cases for health. And one big institution cannot change the health setup of a state, sir. We need to.
My question is about priority.
Yes, sir.
What would be the first priority of the government?
It has to be health at this time, sir, for sure. Yes, sir, there are reasons that politically we do lack proper will, and we even have financial constraints. But then, sir, I think it is not just one institution which makes a big change, sir. It has to be a change which has to be driven within the very primary health centers or community health centers also. Because it is said that just a quite increase of 10 to 15 beds in the tier 2, tier 3 cities can ramp up the healthcare infrastructure almost 10 to 20 times. So that is a very viable option instead of making one big hospital with 1,000 beds also in a single city. So I think that is a more viable option, sir, if at all we wanted to improve the infrastructure.
You are a medical doctor.
Yes, sir.
In last 1 year, including last week of Kumbh Mela,
yes, sir.
there are some sections of our society who suggested some mantras to face COVID. How did you feel?
Sir, because I am from a background where rationality is the first thing which we are taught. I do think that kind of things are for psychological satisfaction of people. If someone is thinking that mantra can help to give them kind of psychological satisfaction, it is fine. But then that shouldn't come at the cost of the actual behavior they need to follow, sir.
How the thinking can be one way, behavior can be in another way. When you are thinking in a particular direction, your behavior too will be influenced of it. Are you then, you must be, if your behavior is divergent, you must be knowing you are intentionally deceiving people by spreading that thinking.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because, and the people who are talking about these mantras and other practices, they are not ordinary people.
They are not ordinary, more so when they themselves got COVID, they went to the hospitals not for these mantras. They went to the hospitals, you know that.
Yes, sir.
All of them went to the hospitals, never depended on that mantra.
Yes, sir, but then these concepts have been since ages, sir. That religion is said as opium of masses, and we do have such kind of practices since ages. Then I think it is responsibility of every individual to correct it from the time once he gets acknowledged with these things.
According to the Constitution of India, it is the duty of the policy makers or rulers,
yes, sir,
to promote scientific temper.
Yes, sir.
But instead of promoting scientific temper, many people who are in high positions,
yes, sir,
they intentionally or whatever it is, they are diverting people in a direction which is not scientific or which is not a solution.
Sir, I don't think it is intentionally, sir. Probably it is the behavior, tendency or ideology.
How can it be? What is the benefit they get out of it
Yes,
by
sir.
doing so?
It is
It is
their,
not intentional. What benefit they got out of doing so?
sir, it is their ideological makeup that they start agreeing such kind of pseudosciences as something which is.
Then, if that is their ideological conviction or belief, they should not go to hospital when they got COVID. They should stick to what solution they told and practice it. Do that. Do or die, that is the thing. Then they are going to hospital. They know that their ideology is wrong.
Yes, sir.
They know. That is why next day they are going to hospital if they got COVID. Pretty well knowing that they are wrong.
Yes, sir. As a person with responsibility in such higher position, I do think he or she has to work or has to have a caution on what he is saying or doing also. But then, sir, it is also said that there is an issue with the kind of political system we are into also. It is quite a fact right now that more than 40% of the people are involved in the criminal acts. The present politicians are into the criminal acts, but then we have never looked into the kind of reform system we want even in the elections. Sir. Then once we are selecting such kind of leaders, it is the kind of wrong is also on our part that we have never gone for reform system to select such kind of people who will be upright at all the times. So it is quite obvious to find people and find such kind of statements in the society, sir.
My last question is,
Yes, sir.
in 1954, Parliament of India passed a resolution according to that establishment of socialistic pattern of society should be the goal of Indian administration.
Yes, sir.
Next, in 1976, when the preamble of the constitution was amended,
Yes, sir.
the word socialist is added to preamble.
Yes, sir.
The constitution itself is mentioning that India is a socialistic,
Yes, sir.
or the aim of Indian administration is establishing socialistic state, pattern of state.
Yes, sir.
Now, Prime Minister is openly saying that government is not there to do business. And almost every public sector undertaking is going to be privatized.
Yes, sir.
So, how to understand this, and what is your opinion about almost the privatization of almost all public sector enterprises,
Yes, sir.
which made India, or whatever today we have, Indian economy
Yes, sir.
in 2021, it is mostly because of the development of industries in public sector.
Yes, sir.
The development of industries in public sector.
Yes, sir.
You are born and brought up in Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
You go to any corner in Hyderabad, in one corner you can see BHL, in other corner you can see BDL,
Yes, sir.
or you go to any corner in Hyderabad, you can see central government public sectors,
Yes,
central public sector enterprises.
Yes, sir.
So if government is privatizing almost every public sector enterprises which is in profits,
Yes, sir.
what is going to Indian economy? What is going to happen to Indian economy?
Yes, sir. So the first part of question, sir, is India changing its goal from socialist. I think we have always had a socialist in in our principles, sir. Right now we are into privatization, but then we have certain kind of schemes and policies where we made Narega as a statutory law. We even brought Food Security Act as a law, and we are implementing it. And there are social security benefits like provident fund kind of things and small saving schemes which we adopt, and we are not ignoring them, sir. They are quite in huge number also. So I think in that way we are supporting our socialist way of living. But then, sir, regarding privatization, in the second part, sir, regarding privatization, sir, my opinion is privatization in present arena or with the present dynamics in the international world, I think it is something which is needed, sir. But then the public sector enterprises, choosing the public sector enterprises should be case by case basis. Like firstly, we need to identify such enterprises which are sick and which can't be improvised with proper governance measures. And if at all they are in that state, probably going for privatization is one good option, sir. And also looking at the socio-economic benefits that public sector enterprise is going to give. For example, the Vizag steel plant itself, sir. So it is said that the area around the Vizag steel plant is economically, the per capita income is very high when compared to other steel plant areas. So in that case, I think we have to relook at the policy. But then other things, sir, if at all, if
Do you support privatization of Vizag Steel?
no, sir, because firstly, as said, sir, that it has spillover effects in the area present around. It is said that the gross district domestic product around the Gajubaka area is very high, and the major reason is that Vizag steel plant has been providing a good social security benefit. And second thing, sir, they have said that there are other kind of reforms also which can be done in this steel plant. For example, monetization of the land, and also going for capture mines, and next thing, sir, surveying the mines located around the Vizag, because it doesn't have a steel mine of its iron mine of its own. That would improve its economic viability. So once looking into those options, and if they don't work, then going for privatization can be a good idea, sir.
But government is not trying to allot captive mines. Without allotting captive mines, government directly going for privatization.
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned about per capita income in Gajubaka area. Since there is Visakhapatnam steel plant, since it provided thousands of employment opportunities, the people around the steel plant, they are mostly employees,
yes,
so
sir.
their income is good. Today their per capita income is high.
Yes, sir.
Compared to this. Tomorrow, if it is privatized, number one, number of employees will be reduced. Because it happened in every case where a public sector enterprise was privatized.
Yes, sir.
Number two, the security may not be the same for employees. So, you go to BHL area or you go to any public sector enterprises or township,
Yes, sir.
they, because of good salaries, standard of living is high, so per capita income is high.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, if Visakhapatnam steel plant is privatized, in present Andhra Pradesh of 13 districts of Andhra Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
after bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh, there is not going to be any public sector enterprise in entire Andhra Pradesh. So it is not only about Visakhapatnam or Gajubaka area and the per capita income. It is for the benefit of entire state, not only in Andhra Pradesh, in any state. In any state, it must be considered
Yes,
to
sir.
continue in public sector enterprise.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my small observation is, since you are a doctor,
Yes, sir.
almost initially every question based on medicine,
Yes, sir.
your answers are excellent and straightforward.
Thank you, sir.
Even in other subjects, your knowledge is really very, very, very good.
Thank you, sir.
So at the same time,
Srija,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you define what is pseudoscience?
superside.
What is pseudoscience?
Ma'am, pseudoscience goes with in this way, ma'am, that the thing which cannot be established by a fact or proper research or proper study. For example, the kind of black magic we believe, or the kind of statements which are done on the COVID-19 itself, the kind of misinformation which runs for COVID-19. For example, the treatment in the part of saying that there is a treatment for COVID-19 by like we can ward off COVID-19 by inhaling hot water, and similar ways, ma'am. Those are some examples of pseudoscience.
I wish to go for COVID vaccine.
Yes, ma'am.
Should I prefer Covaxin or Covishield?
Ma'am, scientifically it is said that Covaxin is has more immune response, ma'am. But then both of them are doing quite good in raising the immune levels, ma'am.
Should I go for Covaxin or Covishield? What is the research?
First thing, ma'am, we need to check whether there are proper supplies of both Covishield and Covaxin. And
You just suggest me individually. Should I go for Covaxin or Covishield?
ma'am,
Why are you so little?
See, you see the ICMR report.
yes,
What the report says is, now, at present, as of today,
yes, sir.
Covaxin plays an effective role in tackling the double mutant strain
Yes, sir.
when compared to Covishield.
Yes, sir.
That is more important. Even the new strains also, the Covaxin plays a predominant effective role when compared to Covishield.
Okay, sir.
No doubt, plus or minus 1% will be there between Covaxin and Covishield. Even more than that, It could be like this also. Covaxin is a totally very first indigenous vaccine.
Yes, sir.
Being developed by biotech with the collaboration of
ICMR.
This ICM.
Yes, sir.
So there are two ways of interpreting the things.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, Covaxin is tackling effectively when
Yes.
compared to
Covishield.
It could be 1% deviation. Will be.
Yes, sir.
We'll come to you. Srija,
Thank you.
very good. Sir,
Yeah, please. Don't hesitate to pour out your mind. You are hesitating to tell, that's what Madam told, that's what I'm thinking of. You are being quite diplomatic. You are not coming out with any answer, accepting the official thing that is sanctified. You need not have to do that. You can take a stand. Previously also, Sir is telling you. Before you are selected to UPSC, once you are selected, you got to follow in the government policy and do that. Before you are selected to UPSC and you are only at the interview level, you got every right to be your own self. You can present your own thinking and thought. That is what is more respected, that is what is more required, at that level at least. And afterwards, you should have a strong personality that believes this way or that way or whatever it may be. You should have a stand. Don't try to be more hesitant, and you are not hesitating, but you are being quite strongly diplomatic, very strongly diplomatic. That is not even on the border of hesitation. You are totally convinced of that stand. So that is why please take a stand on some of the matters, at least those are important. Those that are minor, marginal, you can leave them. When Madam is asking Covaxin, Covishield, just you can tell that. There is always, Sir is telling there is a double mutation for which Covaxin is useful. You must be knowing that already, being a medical doctor. You can add that tag, just not to side with Covaxin. You can add that because there is a double mutation, Covaxin could be better. That is not just siding with Covaxin, because it has an additional advantage right now. So don't be hesitant to say the answers or make it as a policy to be diplomatic. It never works in life. Whatever you do, there will be people who say yes, sir. There will be people who say this is good, this is bad. Everything will be no in black and white. Sometimes things happen in black and white. Whatever you do, gray areas you might try to occupy. That won't happen. Please, thank you.
Second one is your intelligence levels are dominating your emotional intelligence levels. I don't know. You got my point?
You can give diplomatic answer once or twice in entire interview, but both should not get that you are diplomatic.
Yeah. And don't say that I do agree with your statement and all that in the beginning itself. That you are not here to judge the panel. Panel is supposed to judge you.
Okay, all the best.